So we drove down to Key Colony Beach down in the Florida Keys today to meet with Matt and Jackie. They just took delivery of their brand new Sea Lion 27, and this one is the first one that they actually created with a stand-through second station. So what we're gonna do, this is the first time we get on a 27 period, so we're gonna jump on it, take a look around, bring you guys along, let you guys know what we like, maybe what we don't like, and really just experience it with these guys here, which were nice enough to get us out here and on their boat. So let's jump on, make it happen, take a look around.
Get on every boat on planet Earth, from what I've seen.
Trying, that's the goal.
That one's a nice one, dude. When that one first came out, I was looking at it like, dude, that's nice, sharp looking boat.
Yeah, it's real nice. This is the first one they do with a stand-through second station and all that.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Congratulations on you. Thank you.
So in continuing to grow with center consoles only, we want to provide as much value as we possibly can on these sea trials and boat walkthroughs. And thankfully, doing this about 4 years now, we have gained a good amount of experience. And speaking to owners like Matt right here, we like to find out what they like about the boat, what they feel could be better, and all in great respect to the builder. It's definitely not an easy thing to do to build a perfect boat. We feel it does not exist, but there's always things that can be improved. But let's start here at the bow. I'm gonna show you the anchor locker. Very nice, nicely finished. You got a space for your anchor. You got your connection to the Minn Kota Terrova, which Matt says he absolutely loves. He sits on a reef, doesn't use the anchor. Anchor is basically there as a backup. So anytime he's gonna stop the boat in place, he sets that auto lock on location, and that Minn Kota keeps him all day long, he says, with no problem. So always nice to see that, and to get the experience straight from the owner's mouth. So they went with JL Audio speakers on this one. You have an access to your anchor down here as well to get all that, you know, anchor line organized if need be. Got cleats, rod holders up in the bow. Nice big fish box right here, but this is a really nice sized box. It actually goes all the way back underneath this lounger, which is an option. You can either go with that lounger or you can go with a forward seating all the way around this forward area here. One of the things that we do notice when you go with this lounger is that the access getting all the way back in there could be a little bit difficult if you have something small working its way back, but it's great to have all that room there, and you really have a ton of cooler space in this lounger. Let me pop this open. Matt and his buddy went and did some fishing yesterday, got home late last night. So this thing obviously holds ice extremely well. You got some mahi underneath, some good sized blackfin tuna, and that ice has not budged since yesterday. Once we finish up here, they're gonna get back and clean that up, but absolutely no issue holding that fish there overnight, or maybe even a day or two if you absolutely have to. So as you'll notice, Sea Lion on this 27 keeps this cap pretty wide all the way up to the bow. So it gives you a lot of room in here, which is nice if you do have the forward seating. One thing we do notice, and one thing Matt brought up, is once you have this liner tucked in here, if you do have a thinner cap, it does make it a little more difficult to fight a fish here because you don't have that, you know, vertical plane, and you kind of are forced to lean forward a little bit. So just a small detail, but we can see exactly why they did it. It seems like a huge space up in the bow. Forward seating up here should be extremely comfortable with plenty of space if you don't go with this lounger. And all in all, it's a good in-between space. Another thing that we noticed here that we want to talk to the guys about is that they didn't have the non-skid set up like midship forward. It looks like it's a cosmetic thing. It looks absolutely beautiful, nice and shiny. But Matt and his buddy throwing a cast net up here would like to see a little bit more traction. So it's something you can add, I'm sure, doing a sand non-skid up on this area. But we would like to talk to the guys to see if it's something that they could actually add from the factory if you were to want it. So one thing I absolutely love is the amount of storage space You can see they have in-deck hatches, storage, both port and starboard. The huge box up at the bow. Then I'm going to show you what they have towards the cockpit area, but it's nice that they squeezed it in. Even though it's not massive, it gives you some extra space for more gear to keep it off the deck or out of the console. And then Matt went with this option right here. I think it was Jackie that wanted this. So it makes it real comfortable to be up in this bow area. It's a nice lounger for 2 people. Again, on this boat, you could go with the lounger. You could cut this off, remove the lounger, just have this seat right here and have it completely open, or add 2 pods in forward seating configuration too. So depending what you want, what you do with the boat, whether it's more towards fishing or family, they have an option for you at Sea Lion. So walking our way back to the console, you see they have a full enclosure here, which is super nice, keeps you out of the elements and gives it a nice, clean, classy look on the aluminum piping. So let me pop open the console space. They got a good sized door here. They opted to not go with the head, just to use this as more storage. You got your batteries for the Minn Kota trolling motor right there, battery switches, fuse panel, and access to your rigging right off to my right. So some of you may not know what these little towers are for in the liner underneath the cap. Obviously you utilize that space for speakers. This one has a freshwater washdown connection right here, but they also use it to pass the gas fills. So this boat in particular has a 100-gallon tank down the center, and it's got 2 50-gallon saddle tanks. So you got your port fill here, your center fill, and the hoses go right through here to the corresponding tanks. Then you got your starboard tank fill on the other side. So that's what makes all this work underneath the deck, and that's why we do those factory tours to kind of show you what's underneath this stuff and how all this comes together, which is usually pretty interesting, and we hope to do once again here with Sea Lion to show you in depth how these boats are built, both the 27 and the 34. So taking a look at the dash area, you can see they custom mounted everything on a black acrylic to kind of hide it all. We always like to see that. So they got 2 12-inch Simrads. We got your VHF over here, Fusion head unit for the sound system, and your digital gauges for the Suzuki 300s. So very comfortable setup right here. You got your switch panel right underneath me, Bocatech push button switches, and very comfortable seating if you want to either lift this up or drop it down. And actually this little footrest back on the left corner makes it very comfortable to kind of pin yourself in place. And then if ultimately you want to jump up to the second station where Matt is, right there you got a little bit of deckit material right here next to the cup holders to be able to be a footstool, kind of work your way up there, and it's a pretty easy entrance and exit actually. So let me go ahead and show you what it takes to get up into that stand-through second station, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask about. So here on the Sea Lion, they have this bump out, which they use to support their piping, and they have the vertical rod storage there. So that's the first step. They put the deckit to make it pretty clear cut for everyone. Here underneath the cup holders is another area. You can even step on that slightly. They have a Lumar panoramic kind of sunroof here, which you slide this down and roll it up and forward, makes it real easy to open and close this thing. And then you just pop out right here, put your knee, make sure you don't hit the throttle, jump up, and you can change the throttle selector up here to the second station. But we have a 9-inch Simrad screen here. We have our Gemlux wheel, I believe, your throttles, you got your trim tabs and the trim for your outboard, so everything you need. Visibility from here is phenomenal. You're not that much higher. It's not a gap tower or anything crazy like that, but the difference in visibility from here, just in the little patch reef and grass patches we're seeing right here, the visibility is night and day of a difference. So once you get one of these, just like Matt said down there, you likely won't want another boat without it, so be careful before you go with this option. One thing they did here, they added some rod holders and the seat, so you can actually lean back right here and stand comfortably, and it's positioned perfectly for that. Or you jump up right here and you can drive here with no problem. You got some space to put your feet, you got your lanyard right underneath there, and it's just a super, super comfortable spot, especially on a smaller boat like this, like the 27. We have it on our boat and absolutely love it, and they did an excellent job here at Sea Lion Boats with this setup. I believe this is their first one ever, so to nail it on the first shot is definitely not common, and they definitely did here. So we have a nice oversized hardtop right here. You got vertical rod storage on the starboard side. You got the holes in the hardtop to be able to get those holes through there with ease. You got your Gemlux outriggers, which are always super easy to deploy, bring up and down. JL audio sound, some more speakers up here. You got some lighting. The aluminum piping super nice, super rugged. You got the extra support back here to the leaning post, and you got double row rod holders up here, so you can basically, between the back of the leaning post and right here, hold the majority of your rods, and then you got, you know, the extra space. Usually when you're running, you know, offshore in some heavy seas, you definitely don't want to be putting rods on your cap, you know, up here on the gunnels if you can avoid it. So keeping them towards the center of the boat usually is more comfortable, so they're not just flapping around everywhere. So to add to the fishability here, we got a little tackle station, space for some Plano boxes, more stuff down the center here. And this is actually a cooler on this boat in particular, but you do have the option of turning this into an additional live well if you'd like. And then obviously you got a rear facing seat right here to be able to watch your spread or just relax as you're running out to the sandbar with the family. But very comfortable. One thing I know that they're doing here is they're slimming this piece up and actually possibly bringing it down a little bit, just so you lay back and it's a bit more comfortable, so you can utilize more of this, you know, actual butt space. So little changes that they're making that Matt and Jackie told us about. But even with this rear facing bench seat for a 27-foot boat, this is an 8.6 beam. You got a good amount of space back here. As you can see, it feels like a much bigger boat than the 27 from the moment you step on it. And even with this, which usually eats up a little bit more space, you have more than enough to do anything you need back here. You have a 30-gallon live well up on the transom. I'm gonna pop open the bilge, which is a great access to the bilge area. Goes back in there to your pumps. You can jump in, actually use this as additional storage if you like, but plenty of room to be able to jump in and do the work that you want. And if you look underneath this hatch, you can see the fit and finish of this boat. Nice shine underneath here, gasketed system. Heavy duty, looks like it's not going anywhere. Obviously you got the gas shocks to make all these hatches open and close with ease. You got fish boxes also port and starboard. These are a little smaller, obviously, due to the angle of the hull bottom, but these are all insulated, all the boxes, and macerated as well, so all that gunk, fish guts gets, you know, thrown off the boat. Let's open this up. This is just an additional little compartment here for any stuff that you just want to have handy to you. You'll have it right there. You got a starboard side transom door, magnetizes right there to a ladder to be able to jump in and out of the boat, whether you're spear fishing or at the sandbar hanging out. And then ultimately you got the twin 300s, which is the option they went with on this boat, which pushes this 27 upwards of 60 miles an hour. They say they cruise doing about 1.8 miles per gallon in the 40 mile an hour range, I believe. So it's a good combination for this 27-foot boat. I think it's a perfect fit for it. You can do anything from 200 to 300 and be comfortable. It just depends, you know, how loaded down you're going to be and how quickly you want to jump up and out of the hole, you know, to that cruising speed. You know, this isn't meant to be a high-speed boat. It's not stepped, it's just a straight V bottom, which is going to give you that consistency, and we actually are big fans of the straight V bottom boats. Overall, pretty impressed with the 27 Sea Lion. Definitely want to thank Matt and Jackie for having us out here and giving us a few minutes to run through the boat. We want to hear what you guys would like to see more of on Center Consoles Only. Do you like more detail? What are we missing? We want to be able to grow and do more for you, so when you go to buy a boat, you use us as the source of information to be able to get you not from A to Z, but A to X or something, get you a good ways. And we're always welcome to have a conversation, whether through YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, even by phone, to try to help you make the right decision and get you guys into the right boat. So I want to thank Jordan and the team also at Sea Lion. They've always done a great job and been super cool with us. We definitely appreciate that. So pass this along to anyone that you feel would be interested in learning more about the 27 Sea Lion, and we look forward to doing more with this company here in the upcoming months. My name is Alan Blanco with Center Consoles Only. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.